So, as we have heard today several times, we are excellent in participating or have been in both FP7 and FP6. But one of the things that haven't been said when it comes to partnership projects, that we haven't been so very good in coordinating them. So we are commonly a partner in a big partnership programs that Mr. Honnet has mentioned. But for some reason, we don't dare to take the main role and lead this big collaborative project. So from my own experience, I wanted to share a couple of pluses and minuses of doing that, and at the end encourage you all to take this responsibility and actually coordinate partnership projects. A little bit about my experience and maybe why I'm standing here today. And for how long I have been involved in this collaborative project. So I started in FP6 very shortly after getting my PhD. And I have been both coordinator of several projects and also PI, so having the role of leading or being the partner, the lead of the partner, let's say site, KTH in this case. And I have also been a member of Network of Excellence that had several hundred participants. I have also received this single excellence grant that have been mentioned a couple of times today, ERC grant. But one of the things I also would like to encourage is that, and one of the ways of learning of how to write and apply it for projects is to actually evaluate them. For the past frameworks, we have all as researchers being encouraged to register ourselves as potential reviewers of projects, and I would really encourage you to do that. Going to Brussels or Luxembourg and evaluate your colleagues and see what a good or a bad proposal looks like. It gives you lots of, let's say, information when you get home how to do better. And also evaluate projects. So when the project is granted on annual basis, it gets evaluated. So it's very, very good to also see how to, let's say, if you would like to be a coordinator, how to coordinate your project. What is important to think of when it comes to administration, but also how to coordinate research. So evaluating projects is also a very important aspect. Let me see if this works. My main area now, I don't know if you can show the movie. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of what I do. My area of research is robotics, so I work with very advanced systems, so systems that are not yet on the market. So during FP6 and FP7, it was very easy for us to be very visionary and promise things that, for example, we will have in our homes in 10, 15, 20 years. For Horizon 2020, this is not enough. As we see, or as we have heard, the innovation is one big important aspect. So now we really need to think of how to bring this very advanced technology to the market and to the users. How do we build robots that can help humans in their everyday tasks? How can we make them user-friendly? And how can we have robots basically interacting with not skilled users? This is very interesting because it's also requiring a lot of, from the industrial sector, so from very classical companies such as ABB or KUKA, to make an investment in research. There is also very much interest from their side to see where the technology will be in 20 years and how they can contribute so that we actually do get products like this on the market. Now, this is really, really important. So as researchers, we really need to take this seriously, but also as an opportunity to involve non-research partners, so companies, public sectors, end users in our projects. And many of us researchers are in many cases reluctant to do that. So I think that we need to take a little bit more seriously that responsibility, especially if you act as a coordinator. A little bit about my role or the road and how the whole things, how the things involved. I have seen several EU projects in the lab, so I did have a good understanding what it means to be a partner in an EU project. I have been to several planning meetings, information meetings. These are basically organized by different countries, and so I encourage everybody to do that. It's also a very good networking experience, so potentially meeting your future collaborators. I have started as a co-PI, so there was a senior person in my lab that was representing the university, and I was then co-principal investigator, being very involved in the project and understanding both the, let's say, the research and the administration requirements. And I put myself out, so I kind of said, I'm going to help with writing the proposal, I'm going to help with conducting the science, just to get to know as much knowledge as possible. So I learned from experience. I think in 2004, I decided to be a coordinator. It just sounded like something cool at that point. Bossing people around and deciding what exactly we will do with lots of money and so on. And so I think that the will needs to be there. You need to want to be a coordinator. Otherwise, you're just going to think that it's too much administration and taking you away from science. So you need to want that role. But I also took the responsibility of building this partnership project or the consortium very seriously. And whoever says that this is easy to do, it's not. It will take, especially for the first project, quite some time for you to find the right partners if you don't already have your network. So take that seriously. Horizon 2020, first calls are out and some deadlines are already in April. And if you still don't have a consortium, wait for the next call. I think that it's also important for us as the community not to send in just about anything, right? Because it costs money to also get evaluated. So be really, really careful and do a good job when writing the proposals. I think that that's important. So anyway, it took quite some time to find the right consortium. Some people said no, some people said yes. And as the discussions went on, the proposal also evolved. So it took some time. But some things that I have learned, it's very important that, to understand that it takes some time to find good partners. And what are good partners in a consortium? People that believe in the idea. You need to have a common direction where you want to be in 4 years. That's very important. You need to agree on that. How to get there, you can get there a bit differently, but the direction needs to be clear. So people that are doers. So you want people that will actually contribute with the ideas, with the work, and that are eager in producing results. People that are visionary, because maybe these people are not doers, but at least you will have a project proposals that is different from other proposals and that does things in a new way. People that are structured and reliable. I know that administration has been simplified, but there is still some administration to be done. So you want people to not generate more administrative work for you, but to simplify it. So to do things on time. People that want to collaborate, this is also an important aspect. So if you are 6, 7, or 10 partners in a project, there needs to be some collaboration. People can just not go and do their work like business as usual. They need to comply to this vision or the direction of the project. People that are not too close of your friends. If you're a coordinator, you will need to make some tough decisions. Those decisions might be redistributing funding, cutting on the time they can spend on the project and so on. And the situations can be really, really strange if you cannot, let's say, Well, draw a line between what's personal and what's professional. So that's really, really important. And then people that not have too many things going on. Some people are really good in getting EU projects, but then, if they have 5 running at the same time, how much of their time can then devote to the 6th one? So make sure that people have the time to contribute to the project. Now, the example of the project, the budget was 6.6 million euros, and it included 8 universities from all over Europe and then 1 company. A good experience for me was that as a coordinator, not all partners get to the, let's say, negotiation and hearing meetings, but that was a very good experience. So understanding what the reviewers, what are the extra questions that they will have. And as a coordinator, I would really like to say that and thank all the administrators at KTH that have helped me throughout the years, because they can really simplify your life. Having a good administrator is really a must. But then we are not administrators, we are researchers. So it's very important that we have the time to concentrate on science, that we find a way of how to motivate and not force the collaboration in big partnership projects, and that we also know who are the best people to review us on annual basis. So choose your reviewers wisely, and you can coordinate that with your project officer. So to finish up, I am going back to who are the good people to have in your consortium. I'm definitely not a good person to have in a consortium anymore, because I do have too many projects running currently. But I think that it is important to also understand that if you have a big lab and enough people, senior and junior people in the lab, they can take over some of the responsibilities. And looking into, for the next generation, next step, how do you build and help them to build their own network? So I think that from the perspective of choosing how many and which types of projects you would like to be involved in, it's really, really good if you can then, let's say, balance between these collaborative or partnership projects, but also opt for the ERC, European Research Council Excellence Grant, because these are really, really good to have. And the final note is to be in the loop, but concentrate on quality and not the quantity. So it's not about how many papers we publish and how many deliverables we deliver. It's what we deliver and how the collaboration is basically conducted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danica.